Thanks for tuning in to Commercially Speaking. So you can see, I've got myself a little unibrow right now because I'm on set shooting a film. So we got a very special episode today of Commercially Speaking where I've put together several of the pop quizzes. So if you've not listened to Commercially Speaking or you don't know much about commercial real estate like me, this will pretty much catch you up on terminology that you would miss otherwise. So please enjoy. I'm Timmy Barron, and this is Commercially Speaking!
Question 1, how would you explain the sheltering income nature of commercial real estate?
So I've got income, right? That's coming in, money that I'm making.
Let me shelve that question and ask another one first. That'll set it up.
Okay, great.
All right.
Great.
What is depreciation?
Depreciation is the amount, the life of, let's say, this building here, right? Mm-hmm. This building will depreciate over time. It has a certain amount of life cycle, right? Same with the carpet. We're going to have to redo the carpet in like 5-10 years. So it depreciates over time. Where the land that we're on, it's not necessarily depreciating because the land will...
It is not.
It is not. If anything, it's appreciating.
Well, yes. Those things aren't opposites of each other necessarily, but...
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So that's depreciation. So it's the life cycle of, in this case, the building, the things in the building. And when it comes to taxes, you are able to take a certain life cycle of, let's say, if you do a cost segregation study.
Okay, hold on. Let's keep this... You're answering this at level 10.
Okay.
And I asked you a level 2 question. So, just keep it real simple. What is depreciation?
The life cycle. It's the life cycle of the building.
Okay. It is the expense you get to take every year for a period of years when you own a building, because the building will depreciate in value over time.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So just at a very high level, it's an expense that you get to reduce your income by that you don't actually have to pay.
Yeah.
The government allows you to take this expense on your books that reduces your taxable income, but you didn't have to pay that expense.
Right.
So.
Not yet.
Well, no, you don't have to pay that expense.
Yeah. Okay.
Later, you'll be taxed on that expense you didn't have. So you don't have to pay it all back.
Yeah.
But you get to pay about 25% of it back later on.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, when you do that, it creates a situation that gets back to my original question that allows you to what?
Shelter income.
Yep. Yeah. Great. Now, who sets the depreciation schedules that you mentioned?
The IRS?
IRS.
Yeah.
That is correct. How many years for depreciation of an office building?
There's more than one answer, right? There's no. For an office building, it's 37?
39.
39.
39 years.
Okay.
What about a retail strip center?
20. 15.
39.
39.
Okay. Just
yeah.
A commercial building is depreciated over 39 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking of residential, which would be 20, 15 or 20, right?
Apartments, 27 and a half.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. So of all the commercial properties, I don't care about houses. We don't do houses. I don't know much about houses other than I live in one. If it's a commercial building, it's 39 years, straight line depreciation. If it's a multifamily property, it's 27 and a half.
Okay.
All right. That's what you depreciate. Now, what is a cost segregation study?
This is where you hire someone like an accountant or an engineer.
Yep.
They come in and they put different things within the building on different life cycles so that you have a more broken down look at what is depreciating so that you can factor in, I guess ultimately leads to bonus depreciation.
That's something different.
Yeah. Okay. But if you do a cost segregation study, you're able to pay off, or not pay off, but take off more income, or shelter more income, rather, when it comes time for taxes?
Is that a question? That's basically correct. Okay. Because here's what happens when you do a cost segregation study. The accountant or the engineer, they come in, they take a look at the ceiling tiles and the carpet, and instead of the whole building being depreciated over a straight line 39 years, they'll say, no, carpet needs to be on a 7-year schedule. I don't know what the schedules are.
Sure.
It's 5, 10, 15-year schedules. And they'll move a lot of the components of the building on these shorter schedules, which means you can depreciate
Faster.
the same amount, but you can do it faster.
Faster, yeah.
Which is a benefit. You can shelter more income faster at the beginning of the life cycle of a deal.
Yeah.
And that goes away. So, after 39 years, you've depreciated the same amount. You've just been able, because of a cost segregation study, you've been able to depreciate faster.
Right.
All right. And what is bonus depreciation?
Bonus depreciation is where you're able to depreciate all of it right away.
Okay. I'm going to give you a correct answer on that one, but I'm going to add just a little bit of detail.
Yeah.
Okay. This building that we're in, it's beautiful. This office here at SV in Chicago is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if I lived in Chicago, I would want to work here. This would be really cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
All right. This building that it's in, though, is bought. It could be depreciated over 39 years. If you do a cost segregation study on it, you can take many of the components of the building, probably millions of dollars of worth of components of the building, and you can depreciate that stuff faster because it's on these 5, 10, and 15-year schedules of depreciation as opposed to 39 years.
Right.
A bonus depreciation, which in 2023, you can bonus depreciate 80% of what a cost segregation moves from real property, which is that 39-year schedule, to personal property, which is this 5, 10, and 15-year schedule. Instead of depreciating over 5 and 10 and 15 years, bonus depreciation allows you in 2023, 80% of what goes from real property to personal property schedules you can take in that year.
Yeah.
That's a huge chunk.
Yeah.
That might be able to wipe out all your income that year.
Yeah.
You might pay no income tax because of that.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, you can't depreciate more than what you make,
Correct.
but you can roll it over
You
to
roll
the
it.
next year. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay, good. You nailed this one. Awesome.
Sweet.
Good. Question 1. What's a cap rate? Like, what does it actually tell you?
The cap rate tells you the value of the property that year that you're going to buy it. Is that
No.
not the value? It'll show you how much money you will get back that particular year.
I'm going to save you here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is, look, we've talked about cap rates a couple times. You're not in the industry. And the people that are in the industry are confused and misuse this term all the time.
Yeah.
Not unlike you just did. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't be too hard on yourself.
Okay.
But here's what a cap rate is. Here's what a cap rate is. It simply is the relationship. It's a percentage that defines the relationship between the net operating income and the value. That's it. So if there's net operating income of $10,000 and it's a cap rate of 10%, you can figure out what that property should be valued. So if the NOI, net operating income, is $10,000 and the cap rate is 10%, what would be the value?
10% of $10,000. Is that what you said? 10,000?
10,000 is the NOI, 10% is the cap rate.
Be 1,000. Wait, you multiply it. 100,000.
It would be 100,000.
Yeah,
You take the NOI and you divide it by the cap rate,
that's 1,000.
which 0.1.
0.1.
10% is 0.1. So you're dividing by a fraction, so it'd be larger.
Yeah.
So 10,000 NOI divided by 10% cap rate, the value of that property is $100,000.
Okay. Yeah.
Your value's almost always going to be worth more than what the net operating income of that property is.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So all cap rate tells you is in the year that you buy it, I paid this much for this much NOI for that year.
Yeah.
That's all it tells you.
Yeah.
It describes the relationship for that year between value and net operating income. It's not a return.
Right.
And that's how people use it most often.
Yeah.
Now, what is net operating income? Like, how do you arrive at that number?
What are the expenses?
Okay.
Right. And what are the rents?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or the money that you're getting back. So it's the difference of the two of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
So
just be a little bit more specific. Okay.
Yeah.
So you take all the revenues of the property.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly that's going to be rents.
Yeah.
But in an apartment complex, it might be laundry income. Self-storage facility like ours, we have a lot of late fees. That's part of the revenue. And an office building in Chicago, parking would be a revenue source for that property. So that, whatever happens to be in the revenue, mainly it's going to be rents plus some other revenue stuff.
Yeah.
Revenue minus the expenses of operating that building.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the expenses that are tied to the operation of that building, like property taxes, insurance, security,
Plumbing.
yeah, any kind of maintenance like that.
Yeah.
To the systems of the building, HVAC, plumbing,
Yeah.
electrical. You got
Landscape.
kind of-
Parking lot.
yeah, landscaping. All that stuff is tied to the operations of that building. Just take all your revenues minus the operational expenses. That will get you to the net operating income. What about debt service?
What about it?
Do you factor that into net operating income?
No,
Why?
because it's not part of the operation of the building.
That's exactly right. That is an expense tied to the owner of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody buys it with cash. They don't have a mortgage payment.
Right.
Somebody buys it with 100% financing. They got a huge mortgage payment. The NOI of that building is going to remain the same.
Yeah.
Whether somebody buys it with cash or, so there are some expenses that are tied to the owner that will be below the net operating income.
Sure.
So the key to figuring out the cap rate is really being able to dial into what the net operating income is.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can look at the market, see, all right, properties like this are selling at this kind of cap rate, apply that cap rate to that net operating income, and then you can tell an owner, hey, your property should be valued at this.
Yeah.
And that's cap rate.
Yeah. Cool.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. That's
Are you ready for a quiz?
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
I am.
What is a balloon payment?
Okay. Cool. A balloon payment is a payment that you have to. It's for when you finance. Oftentimes, when it's for commercial real estate, something so big, they will lock you in to like 5 to 7 years before you have a balloon payment of the rest of it that's due, which forces you to refinance at whatever interest rate is happening, or you have to sell. So the balloon payment.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let me rephrase what you just said, because you're essentially right. On commercial deals, they're often amortized over about 20 years, much like your home might be mortgaged, amortized over 30 years. But they're not fully amortized loans because they have a shorter term. So at the end of a shorter term, like say 5 years, which is normal right now.
Mm-hmm.
So a 5-year term on a 20-year amortization, you owe the remaining balance of the loan, which is the balloon payment at the end of the 5-year term,
Yeah.
which forces you to sell and pay off the loan or refinance and keep the deal, which is essentially what you just said.
Right, but there are some specifics on it, like amortization or amsterdation.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Yeah.
Is that somebody's name?
I don't know.
Amherst Station?
Amherst Station.
Like a train stop.
Ape Town Night Show. Okay. Would you grant me a full point on that?
No, I'd give you a full point.
Okay, great.
You got the concept for sure.
Yeah. A new balloon payment was that big payment you had to do at the end of a term. Okay.
Yes. Very nice. All right. Question number 2. A hard money loan is unique in that its term is generally a year and the payments are what?
Hard money loan. Man, I was thinking of so many jokes during that section. All right, to repeat the question again. They're unique because their terms are a year and their payments are interest. It's interest-only payments.
Interest-only payments. That's exactly right. King Things. You are 2 for 2. Very nice. I don't know if I'd flex if I were you. All right. Who regulates syndication deals?
Okay, what do you mean by regulate? What do you mean by regulate? Would that be the person who's the principal?
No, there is a government agency.
Yes, okay, I know who it is. The SEC.
Which stands for?
Security and Equity Commission?
Security and Exchange Commission. But you got the SEC, right? I just wanted to make sure, since it's March Madness happening while we record this, that you weren't thinking the Southeastern Conference, since you're such a huge basketball fan.
Go Wildcats.
I'll give you that one too. So we're 3 for 3.
All right.
At this point. All right. 2 more questions.
Yeah.
What is the biggest downside or con to borrowing 100% of the money to do a deal?
You have no wiggle room for mistakes, is one way to put it, because all that money is money that you owe back to whoever it is. So,
to say it another way, because you owe so much, there's almost no cash flow.
yes,
Because you have a smaller amount of cash flow, you have very little ability to adjust and adapt to curveballs, expenses that might happen during the course of the deal.
If you want a business to fail, deprive it of cash.
That's exactly right. Same thing with a deal. I mean, it's exactly the same thing with a deal.
I don't know if I get a point for that because cash flow did not come into my head. Maybe what I was describing was along
You
the same.
described cash flow.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. You just didn't say the magic words.
Okay, cool.
All right. Maybe I'll grade you harder as we move forward.
Okay, cool. Fair enough.
Conceptually, I think you're 4 for 4 here.
Okay.
All right. When you do a deal with a silent partner, the silent partner brings cash to the deal. What do you bring?
Your expertise, your sweat equity, basically. Right.
They're paying you. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's your sweat equity. It's your time. You generally found the deal in the first place. You're putting in your time and expertise. You're getting equity in the deal because of all those things, and you're giving up some equity to the deal to the silent partner who's putting in the cash.
Yeah.
Well, man, 5 for 5. It seems like you were listening.
I was listening. Quickie quiz. Can you beat me? I bet you can't.
All right. Question 1. What's the difference between shell space and a vanilla or white box?
Sure. Shell space, basically, you've got like the concrete slab. There's no walls. It's ready. There's gravel floor, gravel ground. There's no plumbing in it. It's ready to be built in a way that somebody wants to build it. White box or vanilla box, you've got the walls all around it, just a blank canvas that's ready to be built inside.
Yes, correct answer. Nicely done.
Yeah. One for one.
All right, we talked a little bit about change of use.
Uh-huh.
Explain to me what change of use is and what it can trigger.
Sure. So if somebody owns a business in this building, so for example, I'm using it for retail, and I'm moving out, I'm moving somewhere else. Someone else is coming in, they're going to be making food. That'd be change of use.
So what can it trigger?
So what that can trigger is zoning issues.
What?
What? Is it the building code issues?
It can trigger necessary updates in the building code when you change the use.
Yeah.
Now, here is question number 3. Who controls the building codes?
The city. We want more specific than that.
No, that's just plain wrong.
The building code?
The building codes are controlled by the states.
Oh, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. I meant state. I meant to say state.
You just said the opposite. Yeah.
I thought of the shape of Kentucky.
Oh, you did. And then you said city.
And I said city. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that probably says something about you, but I don't know what it is.
I think in pictures. And the words don't always
Match.
Yeah, they don't always match.
Okay, next question.
Well, just for those watching right now, sorry. 2 and 3, technically, I got wrong. I didn't say the right thing on either.
I think that's correct.
I do identify as correct. That's very liberal of me to say, isn't it? In my heart, I'm right.
Hey, I'm just excited I got you to say out loud, I'm not a socialist. And it's on the record.
Yeah, I mean, there's nuance to it, but...
Okay, what is a master plan?
Master plan. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
This is not an incorrect answer.
Yeah.
However, in context...
I know the master plan. Yeah. Now this, I'm assuming it's this city. This city, yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah, the city's got plans. They've got some plans. So they might have some things down the pipeline of the development of the city.
Hey, look, if we look out 5, 7 years, whatever it is, this is how we want to grow. We're going to make those decisions, and then we're going to, tactically make decisions on a day-to-day basis that move us towards it. That's what a master plan is. Okay, good. Check. Nicely done.
Bam. All right, 2 out of 4.
All right, and here's a gimme. You should get this, but what's the only town, only city
Houston.
that doesn't have zoning?
That's Houston.
It is Houston. Now, I've heard people in Texas tell me that Houston's the only one. I have not researched. I have not fact-checked that.
Alice, can you Google what cities don't have zoning? Is that what it would?
Oh, yeah.
Would that be the Google?
My guess is it's the only substantially sized city
Oh, yeah.
that doesn't have zoning.
That would make sense. Because surely there's...
Don't call me Shirley.
Yeah.
All right, had to get a dad joke in there.
Let me do the comedy about...
Yeah. All right, so
Go quickie.
3 out of 5. Nice job. Passing score.
Yeah, 3. That's right. Passing score. Even though I identify as making 100%.
You ready for a quiz?
Yeah.
All right, pop quiz.
Can you beat my score? Bet you can't.
All right, tell me, what are the 4 feasibility studies that make up the strategic analysis model? I like how you covered your notes.
I covered my notes.
You're
I'm
going to do
gonna
this
try to
from memory.
Yeah. I'm going to try
Okay.
to do it. Yeah. Might not do it in order, but site location is one.
Yep, location and site. Yep,
Political and legal.
political
Right.
and legal.
Financial feasibility.
Financial feasibility and...
And the first one, hold on, give me a second.
Hold on, don't move.
Oh, where am I? Is it, there's Ben. I think I'm gonna have to look. Unless, is there a very, very small clue that might trigger my
Well, I'll give you the first word and the rest will probably flow right. Competitive.
competitive markets, the market,
Competitive and market analysis.
competitive market analysis. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Hey, nice job, especially for memory. I think we got to give you a yes on that one. Great.
Yeah, you must.
All right. You brought up something that I failed to mention. And so I'm going to ask you a question that we didn't cover. Which of the 4 feasibility studies or feasibility tests should you do first?
Let's see. I mean, I would look at the market. No. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah, it's a poker face. Poker face you got there. Location and site.
Here's the answer. Or you want to guess first?
Yeah. It depends, is what I would say.
That is the right answer. It depends. It really doesn't matter what you start with. I could make a case for starting with all of them. So political and legal. Like if that's a hard no, you don't have to do the other ones. You can find that out pretty quickly. Financial feasibility, if you're going to do it for real, like not just back of the napkin, take some massive assumptions and you could do it. But you kind of need the competitive and market analysis. The outputs of that analysis are the inputs of your financial feasibility.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will make those wild assumptions based on their experience, and they'll do a really quick and dirty financial feasibility. If it's a hard no, like you don't have to do anything else. Yeah. Some people might find the site they like. Maybe they drive by this site every other day, and it's just, they're like, man, that's a great site. I'm going to figure out something good to do with that. They might start there. So it absolutely depends.
I think if there's anybody driving around looking and being like, that'd be a good site. That's a good site right there. They got to get a life. Like, go find a hobby. But that's you. That's you.
That's right. That's me.
Yeah, that's you. And that's why you live in a nice house.
Next question. What is the question for the feasibility test of political and legal?
Will they let me do it?
Will they let me?
Yeah.
And they being who?
Like the powers that be. Yeah.
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 Ding, ding.
Fire marshal, commissioner.
Yeah. Whoever.
Yeah.
Yep.
You tell the mayor he just lost 12 votes. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Last question. These 4 feasibility studies, tests, competitive market analysis, location and site, political and legal, financial feasibility, they make up, what's the name of the model that they make up?
Will you say that again? The whole first part. I was thinking, do you know what I was thinking? We're playing a pop quiz. If you want to play any other ones or look at the other ones, there's one right here. I was like, I should do a call to action here. So I missed. Will you ask me a question
here's the question. The 4 feasibility tests, right? Competitive market analysis, location and site, political and legal, and financial feasibility. Those 4 tests make up what model? What's the name of the model?
Strategic analysis?
Yes. Strategic analysis model.
Nice.
Beautiful. Nicely done.
Yeah. What do you think of a rapid fire pop quiz where you list what you listed to me at the very beginning, and I have to quickly say what they actually are now?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, great.
Okay, rapid fire quiz. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Land lease.
Land lease is when you lease the land, and that's pretty much it. Everything that I would build, if I lease that land, if I build on top of it, all that's mine. I own that. And they're typically, it's not unusual for them to be 90 or 100-year lease. You don't really want that to run out, because then everything I built would then be yours if you're the owner of the land.
That's exactly right. All right. Great. Termination option.
If I'm leasing for 5 years, at 2 years, I've got the option to get out after a negotiated cost of, price of terminate.
Yeah.
You terminate it. You got the option to terminate it in less time than early.
Yep.
There's the word.
It's good. All right. What's a holdover?
Me being a tenant, if I do not renew the lease, but I'm still operating out of it, there are the holdover clauses in place to, in your case, rent go up 150%. Month to month or a year, but it's something to protect you, the landlord, from them just operating with no lease in place. Oftentimes the lease terms stay the same except for what's negotiated.
Yep. Good. What about an exclusivity clause?
That means that if I would want an inclusivity clause as a tenant, I don't want other businesses that are in this.
Did you just say inclusivity?
I think so. What is it?
Exclusivity.
Yes.
Opposite of that.
I tell you, a lot of times the words do not match what I'm thinking, especially after you just said it. Exclusivity. So I'm an insurance business. I want to be the exclusive insurance business in this strip. So I'm going to go for an exclusivity clause so you agree not to rent to other insurance companies. Here's an example.
Yep. Good example. Oftentimes, you might have a grocer who says nobody else in the center can sell sandwiches. Or it can get really specific. So yeah, that's exactly what that is. What's a tenant improvement allowance?
That's when the tenant wants the landlord to give them money to help them build out their space in the way that they would like.
That's exactly right. Yep. Now, I didn't mention this before, but sometimes the landlord will get that back over the course of the lease. Like it'll be additional rent as they pay that back.
Oh.
Sometimes it's just a payment from the landlord to the tenant. All right, what are estoppel certificates?
Oh, damn. Damn. Oh, man.
All right, well, I'm going to ask you the next one, and then maybe it'll come to you. It won't come back
Okay.
to it.
Oh, you need real info. It's going to verify, the tenants in the space are going to verify that the landlord is telling you the truth.
Yeah, they're essentially going to verify that their leases are
What the landlord
force in effect.
Okay.
And this is what we're paying in rent. This is how much term. They're going to verify. Yeah. Good.
Great.
Nice.
There you go.
Now, last one, what's indemnification?
You pretty much, you've got each other's back, the tenant and the landlord, where it's like, if someone slips in the parking lot, I'm going to protect you. Somebody slips inside my business, you're going to protect me from all the legal ramifications of what could happen.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Nicely done, man. I think you got them all.
Yeah, I think so too. I did. To watch the full episode, click right here to play another quickie quiz right here.